Ukraine is trying to deter and repel further Russian aggression. They are trying to reform their government structures, and they're trying to build up the capability of their armed forces. How can they do all that at once? I don't know how Canada would do it, but Ukraine is doing it. So that's a huge success. So why would Ukraine want Canada to help at the national level, and why would the Ukrainian Armed Forces want to train with Canada? All of our soldiers that are here are all combat veterans. Canada has been through the Balkans, Afghanistan, elements of Africa, so we bring a lot of NATO experience and international experience here, but we don't pretend to be the experts. What we provide is a way of looking at the problem. We provide advice to training, we bring resources, and I think all of that together makes a really interesting partnership for our two armed forces. The capability of the Ukrainian Armed Forces starts at the top. So if you think of Ukrainian officers like General Marchenko, General Popko, Boyki, these men are visionaries. They have a vision of a very capable Ukrainian armed forces that can train with NATO standards and deter and secure the Ukrainian territory. So when you look at it from the top, those officers provide great vision to the rest of the forces. And then at my level, I work with folks like Colonel Alexander Shvets in your J7 branch, and he is a visionary. He can see where your training system needs to be in over the next few years. Ukrainian soldiers here are some of the most patriotic, technically aware, and dedicated soldiers I've seen throughout my entire career. They want to learn, they want to change, and they want to defeat the enemy in the East. So you couldn't ask for a better environment for somebody to be here to give my life, because I'm here away from my family, away from my territory, here on Ukrainian soil. It's not easy to work with Ukrainians, let me say. And part of the reason is because you maintain a healthy skepticism of others. I don't fully understand where that comes from, but I can imagine that, if you look at Ukraine's history, they've had to defend themselves more often than not, themselves. And so it spends a lot of time to build trust and rapport with Ukrainian officers and soldiers, but we've been able to do that. I have mentioned a few officers already, but there are young soldiers and NCOs that I've been able to work with just over a few days at a time. And they quickly realize that Canada has no agenda. We're transparent. We're here to help and support. And every badge or small token of appreciation I get from a Ukrainian soldier all comes with a story. And so I'm bringing all of that back to Canada with me. And I think that's why, the year that I've dedicated to this mission has changed my life, and it's going to stick with me throughout the rest of my career. First one is resourcefulness. It's no secret that while the Ukrainian Armed Forces does not have enough money, they have a lot of resources. So what they need to be able to do is find those resources and direct them to their priorities. And I see that happening on a daily basis, whether it's captains, majors, colonels. Your ability to be resourceful and bring supplies and resources into the main effort and the mission. The second thing is your ability to control the information space. That is very eye-opening for me. You are bombarded consistently with negative messaging from the other side. You deal with a very diverse population. Not everybody in Ukraine believes in the same goals for the country. So you're constantly trying to get the good message out there, and it's always attacked. I've learned from Ukrainian soldiers on being clear with my speech, having an ultimate goal, moving that forward, and that can affect the mission. I would like to see a Ukraine where I have roots. You may know that Yazi Tornopi and Fino Misto, the town of. I'm from that area originally. My grandfather came from Ukraine, so I have an interest in seeing one of the most important countries in Europe become successful. So I'm motivated to that. I'm also interested in just being a professional, and if the Canadian Armed Forces wants to send me back to Ukraine in the future, I'll volunteer for that as well. So that I just hope that shows that I believe in the mission. And our Prime Minister has said Canada is committed to Ukraine, so we incorporate that into all of our planning. We don't plan to leave until Ukraine says, okay, time for you to go.